सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Fifth verse onwards. यैमं मत्पदं वेद आत्मानं जीवमन्तिकात् ईशानं भूतभव्यस्य न ततो विजुगुप्सते एतद्वै तत् यः पूर्वं तपसो जातम् अद्भ्यः पूर्वमजायत गुहां प्रविश्य तिष्ठन्तम् यो भूतेभिर्व्यपश्यत एतद्वै तत् या प्राणेन सम्भवति अदितिर्देवतामयी गुहां प्रविश्य तिष्ठन्तीम् या भूतेभिर्व्यजायत एतद्वै तत् या प्राणेन सम्भवति अदितिर्देवतामयी गुहां प्रविश्य तिष्ठन्तीम् या भूतेभिर्व्यजायत या भूतेभिर्व्यजायत एतद्वै तत्। In this section, fourth valli, the main stress or the emphasis is about the nature of the Atma. Main topic is the nature of the Atma. Like last valli had the stress on sadhana. So with the imagery of chariot, so in this particular section, most of the mantras are telling about the nature of the self. And to tell about the nature of the self, the Upanishad is using various tactics, various upaya. So you saw in the third mantra, it used the Drigdrish Vivek upaya. In the fourth mantra, Upanishad used Avasthatraya upaya. So, what they want to say, they want to tell that the self which you consider as the one finite, one inside the body, or one which is, taking birth and it dies, which grows to become young and old, this is your wrong notion completely. A completely wrong notion. Yes, completely wrong notion. Therefore, what is the attempt here? attempt is here to tell the limitless nature of the self. Limitless means what? That nature which does not have any location in it. I am non-located self. Non-located and non-aging self. But I feel I am located and aging. This is what we are to deal with. I feel I am located at a certain place and I am aging. So here the attempt is to tell about the non-located and non-aging self that I am. So Upanishad is saying that what your understanding is about the self, about yourself, is not correct. Yes, because you think that you are one person embodied. You are coiled by the body. Our understanding is body is enveloping us. I am enveloped by the body. And when the body moves, I also walk. When the body moves, I am moving. When the body sits, I sit down. When body works, I also work. The mind is happy, I am happy. So all these kind of notions that you are having, Upanishad is saying, this needs a serious thinking about that. And therefore, it is going to take you to various kind of methodology to tell that this self, what is reality, is not what you think it is. But I feel like that feeling, you keep away your feeling, because you feel anything which is not right also. So that feeling is not based on any pramana. Feeling, intuition, or mysticism, all these things please keep away from when you are reading Vedanta. This has no value at all here. Some mystic experience, some kind of, I had intuition in the morning, what that I am flying. All these things you keep away. Okay, we have heard of meditation. In this version, what is what? Levitation is there. It happens. Don't lift. So some started lifting. Therefore, I'm saying. So there is a pranayam in which you levitate 1 feet, 2 feet. It happens. I'm not saying it is not there, but it has nothing to do with the truth. It has nothing. A person can be totally worldly who does also. He may be. It has nothing to do with the miracle or with truth also. There is no miracle also. Neither you will get some siddhi by knowing this nature of the self. Unfortunately, you will have no siddhi that you can bring apple like this, or you can do like this, and some chain will come or some vibhuti will come. So all these things will not happen at all, let me tell you. Neither in Gita it is written, neither in Ramayana it is written. It has no value. Here the question is, what is the nature of yourself, so that your problems can go away forever. Okay, when I was a small child, in my colony, once Sadhu came. He said, you dig a pit. So they dug the pit. He said, I'll go inside the pit and you cement the whole thing. Cement the whole thing. So a lot of people were there. India is a place like that. Little thing happen, all accumulate. So they put lot of mud and cemented the whole place. People thought he will die away. After 40 days they removed him alive. Newspaper people also came because he has held his prana. Pranayam is there. He held his prana at that time. So he did not die. He had siddhi for holding the prana also. But he wanted who is coming, who is seeing. So that vasana had not gone. So all these things have no value. Of course, these things attract a lot of crowd. If you can do this, you will have a lot of people around you. If you have no siddhi, nobody will be there. It is good. So Vedanta is not addressing the flimsy matters. Neither it will tell you how to control your mind. Neither it will tell you how to have devotion. All these things, they don't deal with it. Because they think the seeker who has come already is accomplished in that area. Therefore, never the student will ask that my mind is running a lot, I am attached, what to do? This is maybe Arjun's question. But here seeker is not asking this question. This knowledge is a different level of knowledge is there. And therefore Upanishads could not reach a very common man, because this common man was misfit to hear the Upanishads. Ultimately he has to come. Gita also, iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so Upanishads. Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopal Nandana. All Upanishads are cow, and Gita is the milk of that. So nothing is in the Upanishad. It is not outside. It is not Upanishad Bahya Gita. But this will only tackle about the nature of the self. But I don't have problem of the nature of the self. You don't know your problem. Problem is this. Problem is more serious when we don't know the problem as problem. If somebody knows my problem is my problem, he can treat it. But we don't know the problem is this. We don't understand our problem is that I have wrongly defined myself as an enjoyer, as a sufferer, as a doer, as a relative, as a locative. Somewhere I have put myself in some kind of constricted space. Therefore, effort is there to take out that wrong notion about the self. All Upanishads will try like that. So, yesterday we saw that from this mantra, I think, fourth mantra, fifth mantra, fifth mantra is telling about the oneness of Pragyan Ishwar. 6th, 7th and 9th mantra is telling about oneness of Tejas and Hiranyagarbha. And 9th mantra is telling about the oneness of Vishwa and Virat. अब देखो, I am repeating this point. Oneness is not the intention to tell here that this is there. Why to trouble you by telling what is Vishwa and what is Virat? The point is, it wants to tell us that Vishwa which is there, the consciousness conditioned by the gross body, microcosmic gross body, is the same consciousness which is conditioned by the macrocosmic gross body. That means consciousness is infinite. Same consciousness is there. So in the consciousness there is nothing called big and small. Big and small both are on that only. Vishwa is small, Virat is big. So both the upadhi, this upadhi word you have to now understand. I was avoiding this, but you have to understand. This is very important. Upadhi. Upadhi means, English word is conditioning. Conditioning is it's a paribhashik shabd. Paribhashik means specific definition is there. You cannot just say anything. What is the upadhi? Please tell me. There is something called adjective. Adjective. Adjective, understand? Which qualifies the noun is called adjective. Like he is, he is a dark person. So darkness is adjective of that person. Can I take away darkness from him? That dark person is there. I cannot take away darkness. He is by birth like that. You cannot take away. Or his whole family was dark. So you cannot take a black person, dark person, or a white person. You cannot take a whiteness from the person. He can get tanning if he sleeps on the beach for some time. Little tanning. But because original color is original, after he comes back, tanning will go away. So again he will become dark. White. Not fair. White. Indians are neither dark nor white. They are wheatish. They have wheatish color. You know this, no? Wheatish color is there. Okay. So this color you cannot take it. It is one with that noun object. Okay. It is not appearance of the dark person. It is not appearing. It is not in my mind. It is not depending on my angle which I see the person. It is not an angle. So darkness and the person are not two things. You cannot separate it, and it is not the eye problem. It is not the problem in the eye or angular problem that this person is appearing dark or this is appearing white because I saw him from a certain angle. Okay. But when the word conditioning is used, very beautiful word is upadhi. Upadhi word is there. So upadhi has two suffix is up plus adhi. Dhi means to keep. Up means close. Close. Being close. Up means samipe sthitva. Being close. There are two things now, not adjective. There are two things. One is kept near the other. And one being kept near the other, it is imaginarily transferring its qualities to the other, which is called upahit, conditioned. So samipe sthitva swasya gunasya dharmasya अन्यस्मिन् कल्पना रूपेण आध्यानम or adhiyate iti upadhi. Such as long sentence. Being close, you can write in English if you can't make it in Sanskrit, but Sanskrit you have to by heart this line. Being close, which imaginarily transfers its properties on something which does not have that property at all. Being close, situated in the proximity, which transfers its quality imaginarily, very important. Not really. Imaginarily transfer its properties or qualities on that which does not have such a quality. So that thing which transfers is called upadhi, conditioning. Conditioning, one more word is there, limiting adjunct. One more word is there, limiting adjunct. Okay. And we have to hear the classical example. A lot of examples are there. Is of the crystal with the red flower. Or shivling is there, crystal shivling. You have heard about crystal shivling? Shivling made out of crystal. Crystal shivling. So that crystal shivling is there. You put some hibiscus flower. Hibiscus, red flower. Hibiscus flower. Some are looking as if they don't know. Red flower. So here hibiscus flower is kept, and supposing this shivling is there. You have shivling, Roshni. Sphatik shivling. Huh? What you gave was sphatik. The shivling what you gave to me, was it sphatik? Was a glass was there? What do you? Okay, find out, huh? Okay, find out. So I gave it to somebody. Supposing this is shivling and this is hibiscus. Let us make it darker. So this is the hibiscus flower. Okay, this is colorless. Supposing, just keep on thinking, imagine that. So here it is kept, supposing. So this side, this shivling will appear as red. This side shivling won't appear as red. Hello? Therefore I use the word seeing from a specific angle only. This side shivling will appear red. But those who have clearly seen the flower, for them shivling will appear as the crystal only. So other person will say, oh, the shivling is red. Red shivling I saw. From a distance, of course. Too close you will see both separately. This is clear? Upadhi thing. Clear, no? Then what you want to say? I have to say a lot. There is a consciousness is there. And near the consciousness, there is very in close proximity is called someone called mind or antakaran. Because of that mind or subtle body, this consciousness, the mind transfers its quality and the consciousness appears to be finite or sad or happy, although it is not, but it has taken the nature of that mind. Remember, imaginarily. This red shivling is not existing in shivling. Red shivling is existing in the mind of the onlooker from one angle. Similarly, this difference you found out. With the conditioning of the microcosmic subtle body, that consciousness is called, Vaishwanara, Tejas. Tejas. By itself, consciousness is not Tejas. Consciousness has not gone any change because of that. And with the macrocosmic upadhi of the total mind, again upadhi word, that consciousness is called Hiranyagarbha, not because of it has not become Hiranyagarbha. It is appearing to you because you are seeing with the upadhi, therefore it is appearing as Hiranyagarbha. Really it has not become Hiranyagarbha. So on one consciousness, because of two different conditionings, there is two different perception of the same consciousness. And because of the microcosmic conditioning, the consciousness is appearing finite, powerless. And because of the macrocosmic conditioning, consciousness is appearing as powerful. By itself, it is neither powerless or powerful. With this concept, I will now move ahead. Okay, so fifth mantra is on oneness of Pragya and Hiranyagarbha. Okay. Yes. Pragya and Ishwar. Please be awake. 6th, 7th and 9th mantra is on the oneness of. Please note my point. Condition wise oneness is not told. When oneness is mentioned, the oneness is of the one on which condition is there. Subtle body is not equal to the Hiranyagarbha, is not equal to the total subtle body. Wave is not equal to bubble. Oneness is mentioned from the angle of what is appearing as conditioned and not the conditioning. Okay, I understood. I am not that blunt. No. Then how much you are? So, next verse says, 6th month I saw, I think 6th mantra we saw. Yesterday we saw 6th mantra. Then what is said in 7th mantra? 7th mantra is same Hiranyagarbha and Tejas is equated to tell the same conditionless self is in right now also I am unconditioned. What it says here? Please see. Ya pranena sambhavati aditir devatamai. This is a new word has been given to. We saw in the last verse Hiranyagarbha from 3 angles. What 3 angles? I don't know. I don't remember 3 angles. Everything you say from 2 angle, 3 angle. Last when you said 3 angle, first angle was that he is first born. Second angle was from that Panch Mahabhut that come. Third angle was it goes to the subtle body. Oh yes. I remember that. I remember I had forgotten. So now 4th angle you see. You can be very, very clear if you go through these Upanishads. Your concepts will become so beautiful that you will be unshakable. Another name has been given here, Devatamai. To whom? Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha has been given here. Is it feminine or masculine? Devatamai. Feminine. Devatamai. Not Mai. Devatamai. Full of devatas. Oh, Hiranyagarbha is full of devatas. Yes. Acha. Only how do you know that it is full of devatas? I'll tell you how it is full of devatas. What is the microcosmic form of Hiranyagarbha? Total mind is individual mind. Microcosmic mind is the subtle body. I had told one day subtle body is composed of how many elements? 17. All you remember? Which one? No, that is not considered as 4. 2 only. 2, yes. In Tattva 2 is mentioned. Panch Jnanendriyani, Panch Karmendriyani, Panch Pranaha, and Man and Buddhi. This is called subtle body, Sukshma Sharir, which cannot be seen. I can't see your subtle body, I can infer only. I can touch your hand and see if the pulse is beating or not. This is how the pulse is tested. So this is subtle bodies. ध्यान देना, please be careful. All these have certain devatas. Eyes has a devata called Surya. Ear also has a devata called Dik Devata. Nose has a devata called Ashwini Kumar. Hand has a devata called Indra. Leg has a devata called Vishnu. The organ of eating has a devata called, I don't know what devata is there. Space? No, this tongue, I mean, what is eating means? Forward. Organ of talking has a devata called Agni. All sense organ has devata. Why devatas are there everywhere? Where is the devata? Devata has mukut, he has a crown there on the head. Who comes and blesses in the episode serial? When somebody does tapasya, and then devata will come from somewhere. The sound will come, light will come, and then devata will come and say, जिस लक्ष्य के लिए तुमने ये तपस्या की थी, वो आज तपस्या तुम्हारी पूरी होती है। हे तात, हे वत्स, तुम्हें जो वरदान चाहिए वो अभी तुरंत मांग लो। तो so that generally demons are there. So he is standing on one leg. He said, I want to conquer that. तुम्हारी इस इच्छा को मैं पूरी करता हूं, मैं तुम पे प्रसन्न हूं। तथास्तु। So here then only light will be there. Only the bright light, he will disappear then. Nice tuning will be there, music will be there, and everybody, not only children, see, children are unnecessarily, other adults also are equally, totally glued in the television. बोले वो ऐसा कहां देवता है कुछ अंदर हमारे? You don't have any देवता. Where is the देवता? देखो देवता, understand. I was sitting with Guruji, and Tattva Bodhi was teaching in Sandipni. There also it came, Agni Devta is there, Vayu Devta is there. One student came. He said, where is the Devta? Guruji says, what is written, just understand. Don't ask too many questions. अब देवता लिखा तो हम क्या करें? है देवता उसमें, चलो. So, anyway, nobody could ask more after that. Maybe he didn't want to answer that. But you should understand what is the meaning of Devata. That is not that Devata which we generally see. There are powers are there. Power of talking, power of hearing. And you say also power of hearing has gone. Power of thinking. Whole body is full of different powers. In the head only there are 5-6 powers there. Power stations are there. Powers are all around. One power goes and you cannot see or you cannot hear. So you will agree that powers are there. And power is not seen by the eyes. It is known by Anuman. If somebody is singer, only from face I can know he is a good singer. You cannot know by face. Some people appear but they are not. That is another thing. So you cannot appear by face. Only from feet I can make it that he is a dancer. Pagal, how can by feet you never know the person is dancer? From his tongue I can know he's a speaker. You cannot know like that. It is Karyanumeya. Shakti is always Karyanumeya, which is known by its effect. So when he sang, then I could know that he is a good singer. When he spoke, then I knew he is a good orator, or not a good, whatever situation. When he danced, then I knew that he is a good dancer. He was appearing as a very simple person sitting so quietly. When a person danced, then I knew, अरे बड़ी शक्ति भाई इसके अंदर डांस की तो. What a power is there! What a nice dance is there! When you're sitting quietly, if you see Sachin etc. or Virat etc., they are also people like me only and you only. They are sitting quietly. I have seen them many times in the airport. They also walk like ordinary person. They also eat like ordinary person. Nothing is special about them. When you see, they are very ordinarily looking person. This Mahi. Mahi means Dhoni. MS. Ordinary, simple looking person. Today is the match West Indies. Anyway, he already knows. I need not tell him. Very simple looking person. Oh, when they come in the crease, and then they take the bat and take the stance like that. First they'll hit here and there. They will set their pad like that. They'll do some exercise like that. Like this, they will do like that. After that, they are on the crease now. And the bowler has started running. Now then their focus you see, and then their expertise is there. That 7 hours he played, he has 29 centuries, 30 centuries in his bag. Then you know his power. You face the fast bowler. If you and me are standing, that will hit the head. We don't know where. We keep on hitting. Ball is already left. We don't have that power. Similarly, these actresses are also like that. We are already looking actor. That also we see in the Bombay airport. She's going, Katrina is going, Katrina. And we're putting on big glasses. They're looking very ordinary with the bag going around like that. 1-2 people are also there. They are dragging the bag. Nothing special about them. They don't look that good also as they appear in the film. Film is a very different makeup. Heavy makeup is there on the film. Most of them. I'm not talking about everybody. But when they are on the, what is it called? Shooting stage is there. Set is there. And they have to perform a particular scene. Then what acting is there? What crying is there? What beautiful acting is there? You cannot act that way. It's not that easy. What acting they do there? But that power is inside, it is not seen. So we have lot of powers.